Hey, and welcome back to Logistics at a Crossroads. Yes, it's your girl Gia, coming in strong and picking up where we left off. Who knew that we'd still be talking about tariffs? Oh, wait, we did. We called it back in April, and now here we are. The calm before the surge. Or is it the slowdown before the storm? The headlines have been hitting fast, and none of them have been subtle. So we're going to have to take it back before we can get to where we are. So back in mid-July, Bloomberg reported that the EU officials were preparing countermeasures immediately if negotiations with the US fell apart. Almost on cue, though, the Financial Times followed up with confirmation that the U.S. was considering broad 15 to 20% blanket tariffs across a wide range of European imports. And if you want to go back and read the sources directly, you can go to Bloomberg, look up EU readies tariff. You can go to the Financial Times, Trump's team pushes for blanket tariffs. Or even go back and look at LinkedIn News. Megan McDonough tracking the escalation in real time. But here's where it gets complicated. All of those stories bring us to now. And this is where the logistics folks perk up. Because even inside the tariff storm, the U.S. just announced plans to cut tariffs on certain products. Bananas, coffee, and select goods from Ecuador, Guatemala, El Salvador, Argentina. So the narrative isn't tariffs everywhere. It's now beginning to say targeted, tightening with selective relief. It's a system under recalibration, not collapse. And, unfortunately, analysts have begun to warn about those ripple effects are already being seen. According to Soul of a Nation, tariff pressure is setting the stage for higher consumer prices, slower growth, especially on those categories heavily driven by imports. Tariffs in 2025 are not a straight line. They move by country, commodity, classification. And if you're planning based on last year's numbers, we're already behind schedule. And remember, the ports whisper the truth before the headlines catch up. Look at the Fresh Freight Waves data. It shows container imports just at the Port of Long Beach is down like 16% year over year. A steep contraction that signals hesitation from shippers long before the duties officially hit. Look at Inc. magazine. They report even a sharper picture. Some U.S. ports are seeing 30% drop in inbound volume as importers are holding back shipments to avoid being caught in the tariff crossfire. And I know, even CNN pointed out that slowdown isn't caused by one issue. It's stacking of pressures. Tariffs, cost increase, timing uncertainty, and downstream economic drag. That's why economists are warning of the early onset of a goods recession. Not a collapse, a contraction. Slow, quiet, but dangerous in the wrong hands. Now, warehousing. Front-loading inventory sounds like the answer. Until you remember, near-port storage is still tapped out. Overflow facilities are still limited, and those detention and demurrage bills Don't pause for geopolitics. The surge will always land first in the warehouse, not on our vessels. And then there's customs classifications. Blank tariffs means HS code audits aren't optional. They're survival. Misclassification becomes a cost multiplier. Accuracy becomes a shield. And if compliance teams aren't reviewing codes now, they'll be doing it under pressure later. And the forced reset? Every Q3 and Q4 forecast built before any of these headlines are all back to the drawing board. A tariff wave impacts cost models, reorder timing, raw materials, vendor agreements, holiday inventory, and any capital that's already tied up in slow lanes. This isn't going to be a tweak Q3, Q4. It's got to be a strategic realignment moment. And this is where policy turns into pressure. This is where the logistics brain and our human heart collide. Because as we all know, policies move slowly. Freight moves now. And those in the supply chain live in the now. We aren't a part of the Senate. We're not in Brussels. We're not in the forecasting models. Even the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, their freight indicators back it up. Container flows, truck speeds, chassis availability, dwell times. Everything is signaling stress and tightening, not stabilization. And when the BTS dashboard lights up, you listen. Because those are the indicators that tell us something, not the headlines. They're showing us the system has already shifted. So to every woman in logistics, every port scheduler, every warehouse lead, every customs analyst, every trucker, every frontline coordinator quietly bracing for our next plot twist, this episode's for you. Because remember, you don't just respond to disruption. You're the one planning through it. You're the one that's stabilizing the chaos. You hold the line the world never sees. And honestly, y'all do it without waiting for the perfect conditions. Remember, I'm Gia, holding the line, breaking it down, and building it back smarter. Until next time, move smart, stay steady, and don't wait for perfect conditions. You're the strategy. You're the system. And remember, I'll be right here, navigating the crossroads with you.